Hello world. So I want to try a thing today. I want to talk about some of the techniques that I do whenever I'm feeling down, whenever I'm feeling sad, whenever I'm just like not with it. Um and I'm always constantly learning. So if you feel that there's something that you do that works for you, please feel free to like comment uh and leave me a private message. That way I can maybe try it and maybe see that it can help me be a better person. So the first thing I do every morning, every single morning, the first thing that I do when I'm aware that I'm awake, my eyes aren't even open yet. I'm just aware that I'm awake. I say smile, and I smile. And there are some mornings where it's really shitty, like it's like 6 a.m. I gotta be at work in an hour. I sometimes I begrudgingly say smile, and like, but I still force myself to smile. And then there's just like this rush of energy. It's like I feel it in my chest, and then my body starts to feel warm, and then like I mentally prepare to get out of bed. Um, the next thing that I do is while I'm in the shower, I say to myself verbally, I verbally say this out loud. I'm crazy, y'all. I verbally say this out loud, smile, and thank you. Thank you. I look forward to the day. I look forward to seeing what today is going to offer me. I look forward to the day. Like I said, I do it every single day, even if it's 6 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. I gotta be at work. I hate my coworkers. I do it every morning in the shower. Okay. Something else that I do, I've done this for years unconsciously, but now I'm aware of why I do it. I write on my wrist. I haven't written anything yet, but I write on my wrist some kind of short quote. That way, when I do get angry, I can look at my wrist and remind myself, fear cuts deeper than sword, or I'm on a roller coaster, only goes up. It's usually different every day, but sometimes it's like the same thing, just like that constant reminder to stay positive. Okay, what do I do when something comes at me suddenly, right? So the first thing that I do is I say to myself, this is a Mel Robbins technique, love her. As I say, 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. And I imagine a door. Literally, I visualize a door. It has an exit sign, and I picture this monster. It's usually like the monster from Legion. Does anyone watch Legion? Are we ready for it to come back? But I imagine this monster of negativity, and I imagine myself shutting that door. 1, 2, 3, stop. Shut that door. You don't need that negative thought. Okay, so sometimes that negative thought still kind of sneaks through the cracks. What do I do then? I verbally say, like I said, I'm crazy. I verbally say, shh. And it's something about that, like, that huge exasperation of wind. It just calms me. It like zens me out, yo. It zens me out. Is that a thing? So that's something else I do when it's something suddenly happens and that negativity sneaks through the door. Okay, so now what do I do when I'm having a bad interaction with either a guest or with a coworker or with a boss, which happened the other day? So I do a couple of things. First thing that I do is I actively listen to what they're saying to me. I don't plan my reaction. I actively listen what they're saying to me, and I interpret it. I I literally like pick through what are they saying. I try to feel their tone. I try to feel their vibes. I do this when I'm texting. It's a lot easier when I'm texting, but when someone's in your face, I actively listen to what they're saying. I take a breath. It's usually a quick breath because you know when you're angry, you really don't breathe. I take a breath, and then I respond from a place of intelligence instead of anger and emotion. And even if my breath is shaking and I feel like crying, I say it. Right? Even if you feel like crying, you gotta stick up for yourself. Right? And I'm gonna keep going with some techniques, but this is something that I've been actively learning, is that my voice is valid. I am valid. I am worthy, and you are not going to bully me. And I think that whenever I stand up for myself, I feel a little bit of pride, even though I'm shaking and I feel like crying. I'm like, good for you, Ashley. You stood up for yourself, and that's good. Because you're not going to corner me. Um, Now some petty things that I do. When someone's chastising me, or a customer's upset, or a family member's yelling at me on the phone, I smile and I say, okay. It's a little passive aggressive. I know it's very passive aggressive, right? But I've always said from years, I'm gonna kill you with kindness. I'm gonna be the nicest fucking person to you, even though you're being a dick to me, right? So I kill them with kindness. I smile and I say, okay. And then they're like, usually that's it. I'm like, yeah, okay. Um, I hope some of these techniques help you whenever you're feeling sad and down and out. Um, and then some days you just don't feel like getting out of bed. And I'm a huge crier. I'm an actor. I'm a huge crier. So those days where I'm just sitting in my car and I can't get out, I cry. I cry it out, but I cry to keep going. I don't just sit there and wallow in self-pity. I cry to keep going. So I'll cry it out, I'll cry it up, I'll cry it out. I'll say shh, and I'll get out my car, or I'll get out of bed, or I'll step out the shower. Because usually when I'm crying, I'm like crying to myself. And I don't know, they usually, entrepreneurs and leaders, and they usually frown on you for crying, but this is still a learning process for me. So the fact that I'm still going, I feel like says a lot about me. And the last thing that I'm going to leave you with is it's a Gary Vee thing. Love him. It's a Gary Vee thing. I think to myself, as if a guest is chastising me, or a manager, or a coworker, or a friend, I say to myself, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. And there's something very comforting about that. Like, I don't give a fuck about your problems. I don't give a fuck that you're yelling at me. Like, there's something that was so negative. I'm sorry, but it really works for me. Like I said, leave in the comments the things that you do throughout your day to help calm you down. I'm not extremely religious, so if praying helps you, and if you feel like putting that in the comment section, please do so. It might help someone else. So with that, I'm going to leave you with smile and stay savage, y'all.